So recently a pretty large controversy has started between two really big players in the YouTube community. This of course being the meat controversy between Cr1TiKaL and Vegan Gains. And I just figured I'd give my 2 cents on it. It's not like anyone's really gonna see this video anyways, I'm way too small of a channel. So before this starts, I just wanted to say, I don't really have a certain bias toward either of these creators. I think Vegan Gains has really stepped up from where he was a few years ago and has started to make some really good, intuitive content. And I think Cr1TiKaL has always just been a very talented content creator as well. But with that being said, there was just one little hole in Vegan Gains' argument that I just wanted to poke, so let's get into it. The part about Vegan Gains' video that rubs me the wrong way a little bit is when he says that Charlie started off his video using an ad hominem personal attack, when in reality what Cr1TiKaL was saying was kind of the truth.
I want to lead this conversation by saying I have nothing but respect for veganism as a whole, but it's people like Vegan Gains who are overly aggressive and the feral monsters in his comments section that really give vegans a bad rap and a negative reputation in the world. They vilify anyone who's not a vegan. They treat it like a cult where you're a huge piece of evil and wrong if you're not in their club. Now, of course, I'm not talking about everyone who is a vegan. I am talking about this community that Vegan Gains has fostered here and he himself.
So right away, Charlie starts off by making ad hominem attacks against me. Rather than attacking my arguments, he is attacking my character and attacking me personally.
The point that Cr1TiKaL was trying to make was that at one point, Vegan Gains was a pretty toxic human being, which is very true.
Repsion's a little fucking bitch. If I had the opportunity, I'd kill him. Slit his fucking throat with this knife. Really like to use this knife on him. Like, he really does deserve to die. Like, he's such a smug little bitch. I'd love to just slide a knife right across his throat and just watch him, like, just look all scared when, you know, he's just dying.
Granted, this was years ago, and Vegan Gains has definitely improved his content. He's made much more thoughtful, well-rounded, mindful content. However, the point that Cr1TiKaL was trying to make was that at one point, your content and your personality reflected on YouTube was very toxic and aggressive, and therefore part of your audience seems to act that way. And because Vegan Gains is one of the largest vegan content creators on YouTube, and he was very extreme and toxic at one point, it's going to give off that perception that all vegans act like that. And although that's definitely not the case, which Cr1TiKaL did say in his own video, it's just the perception that's given off of YouTube, which did happen to be because of your aggressive and toxic personality back in 2016-2015. I also have one more minor sub-point to make about the part when Vegan Gains says that Cr1TiKaL's audience is more toxic than his own. Now first off, just compare these two channels in size. Cr1TiKaL is quite literally more than 10 times as large as Vegan Gains. If your audience is more than 10 times as large as someone else's, it's going to be a lot easier to find those bad people from the way larger audience. I mean, obviously, it's just basic math. If you have a pool of 3 people and a pool of 400 people, I'd guess that there's probably more murderers in the pool of 400. It's just basic probability. I also really like the part when Vegan Gains shows this screenshot, because, wait a minute, what's that? In the same screenshot where he's calling out Cr1TiKaL for having a toxic audience, you look just a little bit above and you see his own fan saying, "Shut up, Cr1TiKaL fans." I mean, come on, he couldn't have found one better screenshot? And I don't fucking know whose audience is more toxic between the two. I'm not running the numbers on every single subscriber, but all I'm trying to say is that it's gonna be a little bit easier to find toxic people from a mass of almost 5 million people compared to your tiny mass of 300k, which isn't tiny but is tiny in comparison. So although it may look like I have a bias, I truly don't. I think both sides of this argument make a pretty good amount of equal points, and I just think it's going to be one of those situations where we have two very talented content creators, two very good debaters, who just aren't going to see eye to eye on this one. However, I just wanted to call out one of the holes that I saw in Vegan Gains' argument that I just really didn't like. But again, I cannot emphasize this enough. Huge respect to both of these content creators. They both really excel at what they do. And with that, I'm gonna go. We'll see you guys. Hope you enjoyed this shorter video.